my friends. Welcome back here, everybody. Man, we got a treat for you here on Saturday. And I know you're thinking, this has got to be pre-recorded. That's the weekend. No. We're live. We're in the studio. We're taking some calls. We got Mr. Michael Brown here of United Funding Corp. That's right. Michael Brown and his creative real estate solutions team live for you on a Saturday to take some calls, answer some questions, and alleviate your concerns when it comes to your real estate needs. So whether you've been upside down in the houses market, you're a landlord with some issues, you're not alone. Or let's say you're a seller with some situations. Your house just isn't ready to sell and you don't have the money to fix it. There are solutions for you. Michael Brown and his creative real estate solutions team have all the steps in line for you. Just give them a call and they'll tell you what your options really are. Call 438-3838 or go to unitedfundingcorp.com. You can join us also right here for the next 24 minutes, live here on WNIS at 627-7979. So let's talk more about your real estate needs and issues.
So I want to talk to the unhappy landlord. Yeah. And my definition of an unhappy landlord is either A, somebody who's got a tenant they can't get out, or B, somebody who just got a tenant out and they got a vacancy and now they're like, do I try another tenant? So what I do with I don't call them rental properties. I call them income properties. And I have a program. It's called a slow flip. I only put buyers in my house. I do a buy here, pay here. And the beauty of it is they will make a financial bet. They put money down. I don't gouge people. I make sure it's reasonable based on the house. And they say, I bet I can make that payment because they don't want to lose their down payment. Whereas a tenant pays the first month and a deposit. And that's not your money, just the first month. So you make a little bit of spread every month. But versus somebody puts down 5 or 6 payments, that's a whole nother mindset. And I always use the parallel of, Damien, when I go to a hotel room, I don't make the bed. I leave towels on the floor because it's not my house. It's a short-term rental. So I'm not going to bash the room, but I don't care about that room. I can leave it messy. When I rent a car, I don't know where the dipstick is. I'm not checking my sticker to see when the oil needs to be changed. It's a renter's mentality. So if you're a landlord, that's why there's a risk. You're taking a calculated risk. You're hoping and praying because the person has good credit that they don't trash your house. Well, what if there's a divorce, there's a big fight, and the husband was a slob and the wife was one that kept the house clean, and now he doesn't care, and he's got the 3 boys and they're bringing their dirt bikes in the living room. Mm-hmm. I'm being ridiculous, but you never know until you find out. So if you're a landlord, inspect. But when someone bets on themselves financially, they're a buyer. They're not a seller. And there's a way to structure these deals. And honestly, I work with landlords. I show them how to do this. I help them for free. I don't charge I don't charge them anything. Matter of fact, I can do a lot of the work because I have a way that I can get paid, not from them, from the buyer side. So if you're interested in learning about my slow flip program, you can call me. You can text me the word landlord to 438-3838, 438-3838. I'll get back to you in the next few days, early next week, and I'll tell you about my slow flip program. Oh, something we forgot. If you want to get a copy of my free book, right. There's Never Been a King Without Land, Why You Must Invest in Real Estate. Why people became landlords. So for my landlords, the book, well, you can read it in 45 minutes. It's basically a 10-page college paper. It's called There's Never Been a King Without Land. Go to the website, unitedfundingcorp.com. United like the airline, funding like money, corp short for corporation.com. It's a free download. It's free. And if you've ever thought about investing in real estate, please, I believe firmly everyone should be a real estate investor. Even if you just get a handful of properties. Think about it. Ask grandma, could she retire comfortably on a Social Security check? Well, if you're not military or have a government pension, you got to play the 401k game, the accumulation game. I'm in the cash flow game. Real estate provides checks in the mail from day one. If we're in my office, I would say, Jessica, what's my favorite time of the day? And she would say, Damien, when the mailman shows up.
Mail time!
Exactly. Or when I check my account and PayPal says you got money. So cash flow investing is important. That's why people buy real estate. And the simple fact is real estate investing is the number one way to become a millionaire in America. It's not opening a restaurant with grandma's fried chicken recipe. That's the number one way to start a business and fail. Not to say you can't succeed. I never tell people what they can do. I'm just saying look at the statistics. I love this guy. His name is Garrett Gunderson. He says risk in investing is in the investor. I'm a real estate investor. If somebody is an expert in sheet metal fabrication and they just dive into real estate investing, just start buying property willy-nilly, they're probably not going to do that well because they don't know what they're doing. If I try to open a sheet metal fabrication plant or a factory, whatever you call it, I'm probably going to cut my hands up on sheet metal, and I'm not going to know who to sell or buy right, because you have to get experience. So people come up to me all the time. Hey, I'd like to learn, and what could I do? And I read the books and tapes. I went to the seminar, and I don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars. And I said, I have a program. And again, just like the accredited investors, I meet with people. I introduce you. We meet. We see if we're a match, because I don't want to put a round peg in a square hole. I don't want to be obligated to somebody. I don't want you to feel obligated to me. But I'm willing to bring on people. I try to bring on more than 3 people at a time, where I train you by helping you earn while you learn. The best way to learn real estate is side by side with somebody already doing it. So if you join my team, there's a little bit of tuition. It's like joining a gym. It has to sting. If you don't go to the gym, you should go to the gym, just because if you don't go, you got to pay the fee. And it's January, so the gyms are full. Right now, if you're listening to the show, the gym, please be there in February and March and April, May. Stick to that New Year's resolution. Yeah. But I say in life, you don't need every day's New Year's. You woke up, man. Enjoy life. You woke up in a land of opportunity. But if you want to learn real estate investing, I strongly encourage you to, if not me, find a partner, find a mentor, somebody willing to, learn side by side, even if you work for them for free and pick their brain, but learn how to find motivated sellers that you can help. What I tell any seller is that when I sit down with you, after I do some research, we make an appointment, is I'm going to show the seller the pros and cons of all of their options. I don't need to sell them on anything. I might have a solution that I can help them with where we do some business. I might refer them to somebody else who's a better fit. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to advise them like I would advise a friend, a family member. I would say you don't have to sell it. You tell it. You just provide information and let another adult make a good decision. And if you can create a win-win arrangement, then you go for it. And if they got a big W and I got a little W, that's fine. Sometimes it's a win-win-win. There's a third party involved. And it's just a matter of looking to either match somebody with myself or referring to somebody else. Sometimes I may have a solution and I'm just the best plan B. I've had people that I've come to and they were landlords and they'd say, we're going to rent it out. And they call me a year later and said, boy, Michael, we wish you had gone with you. They trashed the house. Can you help me? And I said, well, I need to reassess. And I've been able to help people, So
it's all about getting that information to your particular situation, so you can make the appropriate decision that is best for your bank. And I know that when you do counsel people, I see we got some phone calls reeling in, 627-7979. But I know that when you have these free consultations, everybody listening now can call Michael, 438-3838. I'll give the phone number out throughout the rest of this show. They can call you and get a peace of mind to get to know some options, and at least they'll be smarter, or at least better suited to deal with their situation after the phone call with you for free.
20 plus years of experience. I've seen a lot of it. The one thing I don't do, and we got a caller. We're going to talk to Michael in a second. He's calling me about the one subject where I don't give too much guidance, because certain things I leave to the experts. But we're going to talk to Michael in a second. Hang on, Michael. I know you heard what I just said, but I still want to see if I can respond to your question. But if you need food for thought, it's free. It's a free consultation. And people say, well, why do you spend your time doing free consultations? Because at a minimum, Damien, I got to educate one more family about what I do. And, because I get into a deep dive, people go, oh, now I see what you're talking. Sometimes there's aha moments. And maybe my solutions in-house are not right for that person. I just refer them to my real estate lawyer or whoever. But now they remember what I do. And at the water cooler at work, they go, you know what? You should talk to that guy, Michael Brown. I think, Damien, that situation. Oh, I know a guy. He could probably help. And then I can't tell you how many times I get a call. Yeah, Damien told me to call you. I'm like, oh, how's Damien? I mean, I remember Damien. I know you, but I don't need. Sometimes people just refer people to me. So what you put out you put out love, you get it right back.
I've sent a number of people your way, a number of them over the years, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, you might not work with them, but at least he's going to tell you the options, and you'll know to zig or zag.
And some may mention your name, some may not. Yeah, but I get people all the time to say, yeah, Mary told me to call you. I'm like, Mary, how's she doing? But I just dive into how I can help. But we got Michael.
Absolutely. Let's run on to our phone line, 627-7979. We'd love to hear from you for the next 15 minutes. So call now. Don't wait till the end of the show. Call right now, 627-7979 with Michael Brown and his Creative Real Estate Solutions team. Hey, Michael in Chesapeake, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Hello?
Yes, Michael. How can I help you, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I really appreciate what you do. I know I dabble in a little bit of real estate, have some rental properties. Okay. And they do exactly what you say. They're they're like little money generators that
yes.
will spit off money every
Absolutely.
month. And it becomes my silent partner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm not really thinking about it.
I love that.
But I also know that becomes part of my inheritance portfolio
yes.
for my kids.
Right.
And I think about capital gains tax
Yes.
at that point in time because
Yes.
they may be in that point in their life where they're like, hey, you know, I really don't want to have to go fix the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to call me when
Right.
the faucet doesn't work in the kitchen or whatever it is.
Yeah, you're suited for it, but your kids may not be. I get you. Sometimes it's you get it. You already know the ups and downs, and you've already seen it. I mean, there's only so many things that can go wrong. You know, it's not a complicated thing. And I want to echo. I'm going to answer your question. I have some definitely food for thought for you. But one thing I love about real estate, to those people thinking about getting it, you don't have to stand in front of that house, Michael, for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, to get a check in the mail. You don't. You just check your mailbox between the 1st and the 5th, and if you don't get it, you send out the letter saying, "Hey, you got to pay. I'm not paying your bills. You got to pay your bills." And then I'm making that simplified. But so I appreciate what you said, and hopefully there's somebody who was leaning in and they leaned all the way in hearing that. So there's a couple thoughts here. You know, first of all, capital gains. If you got to pay tax, your kids have to pay tax. You know, anytime my dad would say, if you got to pay tax, you make money. But we don't want to tip the government, right? So I would talk to this trust attorneys. There's all kind of creative things that wealthy people do that you don't hear the average guy doesn't do. But there's different ways to pass money on or pass the cash flow on to your kids. But let's just say they don't want to be landlords. I have a program called the Slow Flip, and I can get into it, deep dive off the air, where they don't have to be landlords. I don't like being a landlord because on Friday night, I have a tradition. I like to take my wife and daughter out. I like to wine and dine the wife before the weekend to get her in a great mood. She had a stressful week because she says she has her own separate career. But I don't want to get a phone call. I remember times when I rented stuff, I get a phone call. Oh, Mr. Brown, the water's leaking, and and maybe the shower drain line's leaking. It's dripping, and now I used to have to run out to Newport News from Virginia Beach to see what's going on. Because my handyman, he was out to dinner with his wife. He didn't want to go. And I had to shut the water off because they didn't have a TVAC. That's the downside of being a landlord. But what I do is I act as the bank. I do a buy here, pay here. I let them know going in, you're a buyer. I'm a seller. I'm going to come inspect my property, but because, I still have the deed and so forth. But they want to maintain it. They have to maintain it. And they know they got to call a 24-hour plumber, not me. They might text me and I'll give them the name of one, or I'll say Google somebody if I usually have a person I can refer them to. So that's a way to transition where they don't inherit properties that they have to maintain. The other avenue is they could hire a property manager. It might cost them a little bit, but the rent increases might offset that. Or the other thing is and the other thing about the way I sell, it's an installment sale. So, you're selling it over time. And if you have a event, then you could always do the 1031 exchange. You got to have the kids are you want to make sure that, how many kids do you have, Michael?
I have two.
So if there's one that likes the real estate, maybe you work a deal out with them where he gets 60 or she gets 60, the other kid gets 40 because they're the property manager. So see if one of them is into it, and you let the other one know, hey, it could be 50-50, but you gotta do all the work. You can't make your brother or sister do all the work, or make it a 60-40 or a 70-30, whatever you think is fair, based on that one kid stepping in. And then you could put everything in a trust or an LLC, and then you could put them on as a member of the LLC. But talk to your accountant, talk to your lawyer, look into trust and using LLCs. I would have to deep dive, and I'll end I only go so far in extra. I always say, I told Damien off there, I said, I asked my lawyer, can we do this? Is it legal? And I asked my accountant, say, is this a good idea? Okay. Mm-hmm. And a great trust attorney, Charlie Pittman in Virginia Beach. All right. And you can always call me off air, 438-3838. All right, Michael. Hey, stay healthy. Keep getting wealthy, buddy.
Yes, and to end, you're exactly right. The best thing I ever did was open up my own real estate company.
There you go.
I don't have my real estate license. I do my own due diligence. Mm-hmm. I have my own contract, and I buy them straight out.
There you go.
There you go. You just got to be smart.
Absolutely. Let's
You
talk
know, you don't go
off
in-
air for sure, because I want to continue our conversation, but we got to go to a commercial break. Damien's giving the signal here.
Real quick break, and we'll be right back with a little bit more
Give
from
me a
Michael
call, Michael.
Brown and his
Thank you, sir.
Creative Real Estate Solutions team. Join the show at 627-7979 or call Michael off the air directly. Call 438-3838. That's 438-3838. Or go online and get a free copy of his book, There's Never Been a King Without Land, at UnitedFundingCorp.com. Stay tuned for more.